yeah, she's a good player.
AJ, talk about offensive rebounds for Oklahoma, because it seemed like that was one of the reasons why you guys couldn't keep it, get within, 5 and 6 towards the end.
Yeah, I thought we rebounded the ball really well. I know you've asked about that. They had 11 offensive rebounds. We had 11 offensive rebounds, so I want to make sure our team gets credit for how well they did rebound. I know we didn't get every rebound, and they did get some when they needed them in that zone. That's probably, if you don't play zone a lot, it's really hard to rebound out of the zone. You really have to be ready just to go get the ball, and we're a lot better rebounding probably out of our man. So I think the zone probably had as much to do with it as anything. But I thought we handled it pretty well. We got some second chances. We needed them too. That was good.
Coach, in this year's tournament loss, last year's tournament loss, an exceptionally quick point guard gave you problems. Do you feel like that's an area where you need to or can upgrade to get to that next level?
Yeah, we'd love it. Danny Robinson wanted to come to South Dakota State, I guess. Good players give every team good problems. I've always said that. They also had a good post player. She gave us problems. I thought some of our players gave them problems. We're always trying to find really good players, and I've been really proud of Macy this year. I think she's played really well, and we've had to answer that question a lot, and Macy sees that and hears that, but I'm really happy with Macy. I think she's been a great player for us. Happy with the year Allison had at that position, and we like Steph coming in for us as a freshman, so I feel really good about it. You always try and continue to improve through recruiting, and we'll continue to try and do that.
Coach, what do you say to the girls after a loss like this? Because you know that they played really well and they had a great season. I know it's tough at the end of the year, but what do you say to try and, lift up their spirits a little bit after a great year?
Well, when you're sitting there in the locker room afterwards, there's really no worse place to be outside of, really terrible family tragedies in the world. There's really no place, I think, that I would dread more than that. But you just try and put in perspective, and you all ask some questions about Maria and Kristen, especially Maria. Seniors have done an awful lot for us, so you have to just keep in mind the perspective of where we were and where we are right now, and we're much better now than we were a few years ago before those players came. And so we talked about that in the locker room, told Kristen, Ketty, and Allison when we were sitting around at 8-8 in January and not feeling very good about ourselves. I thought those three were really the difference for us in the last 2 months of the season, and they should be very proud of where they helped us get to.
Coach, talking about obviously all these experiences, second year in the tournament, it just helps you each year just to build your program, which you're continuing to build it, and how these experiences help.
They do help. You have to continue to win games. We go back to being a bucket away from beating Baylor last year, and obviously didn't play well enough here to win tonight against Oklahoma. So it's good to continue to get here, but for us to feel even better, we need to figure out a way to take that next step. And I feel like we were more prepared to probably do that this year than we were last year because of that experience, and hopefully we'll grow a little bit and be more prepared next year. But we still got a lot of work to do. That's okay, I guess.
Coach, you guys are a place where moral victories don't mean a whole lot to you, but no 14's ever won a game. You're in a true road situation against a team that's probably as good as you've seen in your time in Division I. In that regard, do you feel maybe better than you do in most of these situations?
Yeah, like I said, I think we're going in the right direction, and you have to be able to find some positives in that, and you have to find positives in the progress that we continue to make. And I think our players will. I know our coaches sure will. But like I said, to get that next step, you have to win games. You can't just be close. You can't talk about a good second half. You can't do that. And I don't think we're that far away from winning another game or two and make it really interesting.
Got time for one more question.
Aaron, talk about the seniors and kind of what we alluded to before, the accomplishment of 4 Division I postseason appearances, and really the first ones in South Dakota State to be able to say that. So that's probably a special thing that they'll take away from this.
When Allison, Ketty, and Maria all chose to come to South Dakota State, we really hadn't done much. And they chose to come to SDSU on the idea that maybe we could do some really neat things. And so I think sometimes you'll kind of hear that they won 100, and I don't know what it was, 101 or 102 games in their career, something like that, 4 postseasons. Led the nation in overall team GPA twice, I think. I mean, they've been phenomenal. And you all hear that, and I think that sounds good, but you really have to go back to the beginning when they didn't know what they were coming to South Dakota State for. We talked about the idea of playing in NCAA, the idea of playing in postseasons, the idea of having special experiences, playing in front of 5,000 fans in our place, things like that. And as a coach, you're not lying to them, but you don't necessarily know those things are going to happen. And they went out in their careers and made all those things happen. So I know I, as a coach, and I think all of us at South Dakota State are really proud of them. That's why you see so many fans in the stands, and people get excited about these ladies because of what they've done for SDSU. It means a lot to me, and I know it'll mean a lot to them when they're able to look back on it. Thanks.